his son brought it to our attention that he works in broadcasting, and we wanted to share the information back and forth and introduce people into the broadcasting field and why we need to be there and how you guys should get there and how our broadcasters are doing a service for the community and how they're enjoying what they're doing and what they did to actually get there and create these programs. So, you'd like to go ahead?
Sure. Hi everybody, my name is Juan Salgado. Hablo español y inglés también. Which one you want to go? Spanish or English?
I think for this basic purpose, English would probably be good for right now. I do want to stress that that we do want to encourage our Spanish-speaking students as well to use that as a plus because I don't know how many of you guys have felt like it's been used as a negative in the school system, and we really need to force what's positive about it, but being able to move between those worlds.
Well, once again, my name is Juan Salgado, and if you know, I graduated 21 years ago from this same school. So 19 years. 21 years is the first time I wore the shirt.
And
Yes,
Wow,
great. So I remember 21 years ago, Mr. Bush up there. I still remember him. And there's many teachers I still remember that some of them I heard that they're not here anymore. So, we can sorry for that. But how I started this business is kind of awkward because I never expected me actually doing what I'm doing right now. And it's a totally different world. It's something that you enjoy if you really like it. So I don't know about how many of you guys are going to graduate this year. Maybe some of you are still like in 10th grade or 11th grade, or even if you're freshmen. You can ask me anything you want for number. I don't know what to say.
I'll come up with some questions while too, and I'll have the students ask some questions. Like, introduce yourself as well.
Okay, well, it's kind of hard to do in English. I'm not really going to speak in English, but I'm going to do my best. It was kind of a surprise for me. I just want to show up to this morning to this place because I love Pepe. And I was having a lesson speaking as a student. And he invited me to be part of the speaking thing. And one of the reasons why he invited me is because I worked on radio for almost, was it 20 years? And my career started here in Los Angeles. I started working on KLAX 97.9, but today's La Raza. From there, I started working to the first radio station in place, Rock en Español. It was ritmo. From there, I did traffic reports, I did traffic in Los Angeles. And from there, I went to Super Estrella. And Super Estrella, I was working for almost 8 years. And when I started working at Super Estrella, I became with the idea to start flying like Rock en Español from the 80s and 90s. So that day it became like a huge, it was number one show, probably for like 3 or 4 years in a row, over general market, Spanish and English. And to today, some people recognize me because I did that. It was almost like, what was the name of the show?
La Copa Media.
Not it was like a flash things. It was something similar to that. People compared me to that show. And until today, I just walk the streets and say, hey, you want to know this one? La Copa del Mediodía. I said, yeah, it's me. So if you want to ask any questions about the industry, we are more than welcome to answer the questions and share with you guys our experience working on the media. Today, it's kind of different. I don't know if you noticed it, but today, with technology, I think the whole thing of radio, broadcasting, TV, it became like totally different. Now, anybody can be a star if they use their cell phone and just upload a video on YouTube or just do their own radio station online. It's kind of a huge difference when we started until today. And that's one of the reasons why we're here to show you guys our experience.
Have you guys noticed that the broadcasting field for in the Hispanic market has grown more currently? Has been taken out?
Well, growing in the business place or
Everything?
yeah, the Spanish market in LA before I don't remember when it was like, oh, I was in Spain. And yes, I was in Spain. I remember it. And back then, 20 years ago, and now it changed a lot. Like maybe 20 stations. So 20, so I will have to share the market with all the Spanish, and then we have the English stations that we completely have too. And I mean, the way it works, the ratings, whoever gets more business, that's who gets more money. And more money means more money in the bank. And so that works. I mean, again, don't get confused because sometimes don't expect that you actually get hired by the station. You want to put up rates just what actually who's the work for free. Some people they get paid nothing, next to nothing. The other thing comes down to if you actually love this profession. And it's growing through, yes, it has grown a lot, let's say from maybe from 5 to 7 stations back then to like 20, maybe 20 and more. And what we play most is music. And he was saying everything changed maybe 5 years from now, when the internet thing, and now everybody can have their own station, online station. But it's not really how it is online. Or if you actually work on radio before, like they do have one called Client Constable. And it works there, like what they do, and it's very different how you open your own station online. Because what I know and what you know is like a lot of different. How do I got here into this industry? Like I said before, it was kind of awkward. I was laid off from my work back in 2009. Back then, the call was going down. And I used to do a DJ for quinceañeras and weddings and really the national about those things. So that was really nice stuff. And for some reason, I started listening to Super Estrella back then, and probably for me, the Lucas on it. And I went to listen to the show, and they did have a broadcasting academy, which is in San Antonio. I got no money, no job, was struggling with that situation. So I had some money left. So I said to myself, I'm not spending on something. I need food, of course, right? But I want to spend on education. Right? So I had experience of being the DJ before and a speaker. So what I did, I called this guy, Juan Gutierrez, and I asked him about the school. Right? So I spent my money for them to teach me one moment. Right? So yes, one thing that couple lot is going to those broadcasting academies or going to college, and I don't know how those guys are called, but it's broadcasting,
There's in
communications, or
yeah.
journalism also.
Journalism, broadcasting, communications, those are all different fields that you guys can get degrees in. There's also, when Michelle Trujillo gets here, she can talk about how she went to Cal State Fullerton. And I don't know if she's an actual, what is she called? The weather girl? Meteorologist, yeah. Meteorologist, where she knows specifically about the weather and how that all works, because it's all science. So there's different ways that you can get into broadcasting. So if you wanted to go into in the entertainment field, you might be going into entertainment journalism and focus on that, and then become the person behind the camera that's talking about it as well. But if you notice, they've known each other for 20 years now, and they all know about the same people. So once you actually start going within those circles, then it's not only what you know, it's who you know and how well they know you work. Is your work up to quality? Do you come up with good ideas? Are you easy to work with? Are you somebody who's going to be a little diva and and it's going to be difficult for them to work with because you become this personality? But what you guys can bring in is your knowledge of multimedia now and social media and how to build those areas as well. So it's a growing field. And this is something where you guys can take it, actually come in and participate right away.
Right.
Are you guys interested in the industry, in the media? Anyone who wants to be a DJ, activist?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay,
Or just like radio broadcast,
okay.
like you guys. Yeah.
What do you want to do it for?
Maybe rock or like alternative.
And what is your idea of the job? What do you think that DJ do on the radio station?
They like they give news like about new music and like sometimes they explain what the song's talking about. That's what I.
But you're more interested like to meet the artist, to meet the concerts.
Yeah, I think so.
You want to go there for fun.
No, I mean like I like playing music, so I want to play music for
Do you
people.
guys have any DJ in particular you guys like? Right here.
Oh yeah. That's one of
Don Cheto, I don't
You
them.
were saying?
One of the things I believe it has to do a lot when you're young, like you guys right now, it's believe in yourself. If you are focused on what you want to do in life, just keep that road and try to be focused and be prepared. You always need to get knowledge from wherever sources. Be prepared by the time that you're gonna get into your career. It doesn't matter if you want to be a DJ, a broadcaster, or whatever you want to do in life. But just be focused and just get prepared. On our case, I think the difference between here and Mexico is because the broadcasters from Mexico, they actually go to university. Here, I remember on my days, anybody can be a DJ. Now it's even easier. Anybody can be a DJ. So they don't have the knowledge. They don't know how to read the news. And that's sad. It was really sad because now people are getting used to that. The people with no education, the people with no preparation, sometimes it's good, it's bad, and sometimes it goes just only with the flow. Whatever the money goes to, that's where it goes. You can see now a lot of bloggers that they make a lot of money, and it's up to you guys, like which way you want to go.
It's gonna be how you build your following too. You know, the bloggers is you're taking control on your own, and you're building that. So they're watching you for a reason. So what is that reason? How are you building that? How are you building your audience? So if you were to work with any of these industries right now, if you wanted to find out from the DJs like do you want to find out about how he's doing and why he's doing, why he's so good at what he's doing? You guys should approach and say, you know what, I want to be part of your street team. You know, I want to go to some of the events and I'll hand out a flyer. I want to be part of the people that help set up the tents for the events and volunteer your time. You're going to volunteer your time and you're going to do a lot of grunt work. You're going to do a lot of the things that you might not want to do, but you're going to learn about the industry from somebody who's doing it really well. And that's kind of the best way to do that, is to actually learn from doing and learn from somebody who's doing it well, rather than just going into a job and learning on your own. You know, so you got to take advantage of the connections that we currently have around and the people that are to and ask them questions. You know, I like what you guys are doing. How can I get there? You know, and believe it or not, they're here to help. They're here to help grow the industry and make it better, and then make you better because of it.
One of the things that made me care that I didn't know when I was your age. And yeah, I said before, I never expected to be here doing what I'm doing now. To me, I was actually going to be a police officer, but when I did work for that for 40 years to volunteer for the political part in San Ana. And then I'm doing this. But it helped me a lot because Mr. He was saying education. Okay. And if I ask you guys to show me your notes, most of you guys don't know how to spell. And when we do radio, everything has to be pretty much perfect. Not really perfect, but kind of perfect.
Because you're the image. If people are listening to you, they get an image. And it's like somebody that you want to follow or something that you want to get committed to. So if the person who's doing that is not doing the things right, it's like, on my case, I was like really frustrated when I heard a guy already saying, oh, we're going to go to the market. Market? There's no market. That's supermercado. So if you want to do it in Spanish or English, just try to make that. Don't try to promote Spanish. That was my concern that time. If I'm gonna do a word, I have to do it or in English or in Spanish. But never have to mix it because I get I wanted the image of two people who listen to me. And I want to get a good image of those two people. That's one of the things he was worried about it too. And he says like you have to be prepared, and you have to write good, you have to read good, because it was your image, and people were taking you like I don't know if it happens to you, but sometimes when you look at the streets and they say, hey, I listen to you, you're fine. So you feel like you have a responsibility to do things good, because they have some kind of respect for you and that way. And I think that you have to apply every single day of your life. It doesn't matter what you do. It has to be like part of your personality all the time. Be good at whatever you do, but especially as a person.
Yeah, I think that's been a problem, you know, I'll try later, I'll do this later. I'll come to class on time later, you know, I'll turn in my assignments late, but I'll turn them in, you know. When you're always projecting your best, people expect you to always live up to your best. And you then start moving your standard up, you know, what you expect for yourself. You know, I have 150 students. I'm the ones that are always doing and asking for more. And I expect more and I'm harder on those students because they're going to take off and they're going to do things. And if I keep the standard low for them, they're not going to reach higher. So yeah, I'm harder on my best students. And that makes them better. And then when you go into the industry, that's what you're going to expect to do. Whatever industry it is, you're going to do really good. Nobody wants to go to the doctor that got C's. You know, nobody wants to go to the doctor that just barely passed or showed up late, you know, or the dentist. Nobody wants to be that parent that, you know, that is just doing just enough for their kids. You know, you want to be that parent that's doing the best for them. You know, and sometimes that's dragging them around to all these silly things, but they're learning at the same time too. I mean, you know, your kids push you to do better, you know, and you should be pushing yourselves as well.
Before I go, someone here said that's going to graduate this year. What's it? Are you planning, what are you planning to do after you graduate? Are you going to go to a course, I think? But what career are you planning to do?
Nursing.
Nursing? So you like to?
And don't be afraid to move in between careers. He was a police officer. I was actually an artist. I was working in graphic design for 15 years. And then, you know, I became a teacher. Now I've been teaching for 10 years. So don't be afraid to move within your careers. There's no reason why a nurse can't go into broadcasting and talk about health on the radio, because you're going to be an expert at that. And then you'll be able to live within two worlds and be really good at what you're doing. Be able to find something that you're good at and then be able to talk about that on air. So people can then say, wow, this is the person who really knows about it. I mean, how many doctors do you see on TV? You only see really like Dr. Oz, but he's the expert. Everybody believes everything that he says. You know, we could use that as well. Do you have a person, do we have somebody like that in the Hispanic area who would know that and actually can say that on radio or television, that people trust and believe in that way? And why can't that be you? You know?
That's good.
And that's exactly, and radio, that's, I think, a big responsibility to be a DJ. Because if you say, this coffee is the best coffee I ever tasted, they're gonna believe you. They're gonna follow you. So it's like, you need to be really careful with the mic every time you do it. And I think it gets like and Mike, sometimes I was scared to open the mic. I don't know how to say it. Because it's like, okay, if I say that's, it's going to be right, it's going to be wrong. So I had to analyze everything before I open the mic. And I applied that into my life. What I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. And I try to do it the best way that I can. And what the teacher says right now, be good at whatever you want to do. And I see just only one guy who's a passionate about radio. It's a good thing. And you can apply that into your life. Because in my case, I went to university in Mexico and I just dropped off. When I get here, I came with no papers. I just crossed the border. Okay? It was so funny because the guy told me, don't when you were like with the cows, all the horses on your rancho, on your farm, say, no, do it. I'm from Europa, so I never lived like in the country. And I got here, I went to the school similar to the one that I went to be a broadcaster. I became a DJ, I came on a movie with John Examo. I did a small role, but it's a thing. Then I went into the mortgage industry. I opened an office with 20 employees. We came in Anaheim. Then I DBK because it was too much stress for me. I lost everything. Then my family owns a welding shop. So my sister and myself are in charge of the welding shop right now. And I've been working there for almost like 2 years. Now one of the other things I want to do is a coffee shop. Okay? But I'm not passionate about whatever I do. Now, if I want to open a coffee shop, one of the reasons why I want to do it is because I want something different. You always need to find a need. When you find a need, then is how you apply your knowledge and begin with something that you want to do. In my case, one coffee shop. Because if you want coffee, it's going to cost you probably like 30 or 40 cents more than if you buy it at 7-Eleven or any other coffee place. But it's the marketing. You want to see people read a book, doing some homework on the laptop. Nice, cute guys there hanging out on the coffee shop. I think it's good. The marketing is good. On my case, I want to open a coffee shop because I want to share music. So my concept of the coffee shop is going to be a rock coffee. Every time you get to my coffee shop, it's going to be rock, only rock music. I know I'm focusing on one group, but that's what I want. It's going to work or not, I don't know, but that's what I want to do.
Sometimes it's really nice when you focus on small groups, because then you really can cater to that group. And when you do, they have friends, they have other people who do the same thing, and then it builds and builds and builds. When you sometimes spread it out, like it needs to be for everybody, like McDonald's, you don't always get that same gathering. And it's more of a culture that's being built there. And that's what we need to do, is we need to build a culture, we need to build a following. And what helps right now with Hispanics in broadcasting is that you're speaking to a like audience. You're speaking to people who come from similar backgrounds, who have similar beliefs, and you already have that built in. So this is how we can now tell our stories. We can reach out to each other, and there's some trust there. There's some just built-in trust. When I go in front of the classroom, it's a little bit different because I'm teaching to a classroom of Hispanic students, and I'm Hispanic, and there's a little bit of built-in trust until you get to know me. And you trust me.
And the reason why we share, well, that's why I did it, probably YouTube. The reason why we're telling you guys what we're doing and why we jump from different stages of our lives into different careers is because, on my point, it's don't be afraid to try new things. As long as you're prepared and believe in yourself, don't be afraid. Just go and do it.
Sometimes when my first DJ job as a professional, I worked at nightclub. And I got paid $10 for like 2 hours. And I was an intake having fun. And the intake was something that was home. So when you prepare for your career, and in her case, you're supposed to be a nurse, or you're going to be a doctor, or a lawyer, in our case, then you get paid for something that is fun. And so for me, now I go working. I just go there and have fun and get paid. And that's the kind of work we want to do.
Shelterita's down here with us, she's from Telemundo. So what we've been basically doing right now is just talking about how we all got here. What our journey has basically been of having Hispanics in broadcasting. One of the things we just left off with right now is that being Hispanics and in that field, we're able to have a built-in audience. and we have a lot of trust. So when we have that audience, when you have these voices and these personalities behind the camera, behind the microphone, there is that built-in trust of somebody who knows who you are, who comes from similar backgrounds, and there's that built-in trust. And this is what you guys can grow into. This is the field you can grow into, and this is the audience that you're going to then develop. One of the questions we haven't asked is how many of you guys have actually listened to these radio stations? And, have you guys ever listened to the radio stations? The Spanish radio stations? Have you guys ever viewed Telemundo? Is it on in your house? Very good.
Me ven a las 5 de la mañana, temprano. No se levantan temprano. You don't wake up so early. I have to wake up early.
And what I was really interested about Michelle, the culture and everything, is that Michelle Trujillo graduated from Cal State Fullerton. So it's something that we as people normally do is we gravitate towards similarities, things that bind us. And this is what I want you guys to learn from and start building yourselves as well. So if you'd like to talk to us about how you started and got into your broadcasting and your journey at Cal State Fullerton.
Good morning. My name is Michelle. Sorry, my voice. Okay, I'm sick. Well, I was born here, but I grew up in Mexico, and I came here when I was 16 years old. And I started working at McDonald's. And then don't feel like if you want to be in certain whatever TV or something, you have to, I don't know, have a great future or something, you know. I came from a family, and not for medium class, you know, and I worked at McDonald's, and then I studied journalism in Cal State Fullerton. I started my career in JP College. I don't know if you heard about that college, community college in Rancho Cucamonga. I did 2 years there, and then I transferred my credits to Fullerton, and then I studied there journalism with an emphasis to Spanish, because I wanted to do my career in Spanish. Who wants to do your career in Spanish here? For example.
A lot of our students are fluently bilingual, but they've been within the school system so long that they're speaking more English now than they're speaking Spanish. So you guys need to really practice your Spanish a lot more. And really encourage that side. So you should be able to move within both worlds. You know.
For example, right now Telemundo is part of NBC, and then if you're going to Telemundo, you can just jump to NBC4, and then bilingual is the best thing that you can do, because sometimes the reporters in NBC4, the channel 4, they do reports for us in Spanish and English for them, and then it's a great opportunity to be bilingual. And don't be like, oh, you know how they were right now, bully, whatever. But you know what? It's the best thing that you learn, and you speak to everyone one, always, you know. You don't have to be like, oh, I'm Latino, but I'm in the US, I have to speak only English. No, that's not right. You have to still continue your language, because that opens a lot of doors for you. And I did 4 years in Fullerton, and then I started my career in TV Azteca as entertainment. But I didn't like it really, entertainment, because, you know, entertainment is when I showing up here, and then I didn't like it. I'm from a little town in Mexico, and it's kind of like, no. And then I started looking around, and then it's kind of hard. If you want to be a journalist on TV, it's kind of hard. If you want to be like Pepe, maybe production or something, it's kind of, you have more opportunity to get those jobs. But always on TV, it's kind of hard to be a talent, right? To be a talent is really hard. TV and radio, whatever, it's kind of hard to get into. And then always trying to be yourself, because, for example, in my case, when I went, I didn't have experience. They say in Telemundo, oh, how many years do you have experience? I have my career, but I have just 1 year in TV Azteca and 2 years in Palm Springs. I moved to Palm Springs, and I started there doing the weather and foreign vision. There is a small market. And they say like, oh no, it's a 140 something market. It's like, that's nothing. You have been in any like market, like big market. I was like, no, I need experience. Will you give me that opportunity? And they like that. They like that. I was like, no, I want to do it. Will you give me that opportunity? They like my personality. And At the end of the day, they're gonna tell you, oh no, you want to study journalism, communication. Oh no, that's the worst job that you can get, blah blah blah. Bad pay, you're never gonna be there, blah blah blah. But still, if you wanna get there, you will get there. Okay? Then you need to focus on what you want. And if you go to any interview, you just go and I wanna do it. Could you give me that experience that you asked me for? And that's it. You know, you don't have to have 10 years in TV or whatever. I'm 28 and I'm already 3 years in Telemundo, 2 years in Univision, and then you can do it. You can do it if you want it. But still, it's very important that you still continue with your Spanish because in the community, California, we're 50%. Well, 80% I think some Mexicans, the rest is Salvadoreños, Guatemaltecos, and then you have to practice your Spanish if you want to be into communication, to communicate with the community outside. For example, if it's something shooting outside or something and whatever, in Campton, whatever, it's a lot of Hispanic or Santana or whatever, you do it in English for your channel, but you want to get information there, and if people don't speak English, you can ask them in Spanish. Oh, could you tell me what's going on here in the scene, blah, 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 and then you will transfer in English, whatever, to your channel. And then always be secure to speak to language is the best thing that you can do.
And plus, working with Telemundo and NBC4, if she were to go out and like cover Santa Ana's Day of the Dead, think she could all cover it in both English and in Spanish and doesn't get twice the coverage that it normally would and be able to go in both areas. So then you start being able to be a crossover, and that's what they're using a lot of the newscasters for. So it's just where you want to go with how you want to develop it and how you present yourself and your brand. You have to protect your brand and know your community and be able to build that up.
Now, looking at what you were saying before about speaking Spanish, and Michelle mentioned that too. Practice Spanish and English the best, or as much as we can. Because when we speak Spanish on the radio, we don't go like, para el rancho. Decimos para el rancho. So, ¿verdad? Eso gusta mucho. Felipe, no es Felipe. Aunque Don Cheto habla así porque es un personaje, realmente cuando hablamos para transmitir el mensaje lo hablamos lo más claro, lo más preciso que se puede hacer. Entonces, muchos de ustedes vienen de México tal vez, allá nacieron, pero cuando hablan español, se tienen la perfecto. Si el reportero va a preguntarle, como se dice, a un testigo, ¿qué pasó? No va a decir, oiga, María, ¿usted qué pasó? ¿Cómo estuvo? ¿Qué pasó? Pues cuéntenos. No, va con mejor profesionalismo a hablar para tomar la nota del testigo o de la persona que va a reportar. Él mencionaba acerca del español. Vamos por el Freeway 5, tal vez diga bien así, Freeway 5, pero usted puede decir, vamos por la autopista número 5. Así también su español tiene que ser lo más perfecto que se pueda, al menos que sea un personaje como el Checo. Pero sí hay muchos locutores que hablan de como le digo, ¿verdad?
Claro. No, y lo malo es que luego empiezan a decir que nosotros así hablamos, o que es el español correcto, pero realmente no es el español correcto, ¿me entiendes? Por ejemplo, cuando yo entré a Telemundo, me dijeron, hablas muy bien el español, y yo, bueno, es que yo me crié en México, realmente, mi inglés es mi segunda lengua. No, pero lo hablo súper bien para haber llegado a los 16 años, a veces ya empiezan a decir, me parqué, ¿no? A veces me estacioné. Entonces le dije, no, pero es que siempre en mi familia tratamos de seguir con el español, a leer mucho, a pesar de que ya estudié acá desde mis 16 en inglés, siempre leer. Por ejemplo, ahorita yo estoy dando el tiempo y estoy estudiando mi certificación para ser meteoróloga profesional y tener más credibilidad on air, ¿no? Y todo lo que estoy aprendiendo está en inglés, entonces tú tienes que saber de una forma correcta cómo traducirla al español. Los sistemas de alta presión, de low pressure, whatever. Entonces, lógicamente no vas a decir cualquier cosa, tienes que saber exactamente cómo traducirlo. Y para eso tienes que saber los dos idiomas, porque nosotros estudiamos en la escuela de Mississippi State University, que es online, es una de las mejores escuelas para meteorólogos. Y lógicamente tenemos que traducir todo al español. Gráficas, todo lo tenemos que traducir. Y también eso, si quieren entrar o enfocarse más en la zona del tiempo, tienen que estudiar meteorología. Muchas personas desgraciadamente usan el tiempo to jump to entertainment or to jump to be the news anchors or something like that. Pero realmente en Telemundo lo que hacemos con NBC que quieren que tengamos más credibilidad. Entonces, nos están enseñando a tener que tener otro certificado de 3 años, aparte que tengo mi BA en Journalism, tengo que sacar la certificación de meteoróloga también, es lo que estamos ahorita trabajando en eso. Pero sí, sí, siempre es muy importante como siempre saber el español correcto, ¿no? Para podernos comunicar. Y aparte porque nosotros somos el ejemplo para nuestra comunidad, para las siguientes generaciones, entonces nos ven y, como dice Pepe, ¿cómo? Juanito, ¿cómo dices ahorita? Felipe, así se dice, así empiezan los niños más chiquitos a ver y así empiezan a expresar su español. Entonces, eso no es bueno, hay que demostrar que también los latinos podemos salir adelante en otro país y que sí se puede solamente queriendo y enfocándonos, y no nomás pensar que venimos acá a ganar dinero y a, no sé, a quedarnos estancados, como diríamos. No, sí se puede, pero tenemos uno mismo que decir, meternos pilita, ¿no? Y felicitarnos y decirnos, oye, sé que estudiar, oye, sé que seguir haciendo más y más y más. Vamos a estar estudiando y trabajando a la misma vez. O sea, yo estaba trabajando en McDonald's y la estaba sacando mi carrera de periodismo. Me fui luego con mi papá a estudiar todo para los seguros de insurance y estaba trabajando también en mi carrera. Entonces, todo se puede, pero es cosa que se enfoquen y lo hagan y pónganse a pensar que somos el ejemplo de los que vienen. Entonces, desgraciadamente, ahorita ya los latinos nos estamos quedando en un rango donde no estamos estudiando, donde otras generaciones, otras culturas nos están brincando. Entonces, hay que demostrar que también nosotros podemos.
¿Preguntas?
You guys have any questions? So it's really, really nice and really great that they're thinking about how they're representing the language. And it's really that they're making sure that the language is spoken clearly, because when it's on air, when it's, whether it's on the television or whether it's on radio and it's on air and it's being said, will then repeat it. And they'll repeat it the way that it's being heard. And we want to make sure that when the audience is listening, that they're actually repeating it correctly. Because once we actually let that go out on air and it's not stated correctly, it's going to then keep on, and then it just becomes part of the culture that this is now a new way of saying this. This is now the Spanglish version of saying this. And I'm from East LA, and when I was growing up, it was not allowed. We were not allowed to speak Spanish at the schools. We were not allowed to speak Spanish at home. So my parents were encouraged not to speak Spanish at home, and we were not allowed to go to school knowing Spanish. This was in the 70s and the 60s. So my Spanish is very poor. I don't know, I rarely speak it, but I understand quite a bit. I know it's really shocked. I understand about 80% of whatever. But I'm a 5th generation born in East LA, Latino. So, which is completely different from people who grew up with the language. And what we really need to encourage with each other is that those of you who are growing up with the language, that you respect it and keep it going. Because I didn't have a choice. Now you guys have that choice to keep the language going and being able to live within both worlds. It's funny that my son knows more Spanish than I do. And then he's learning that from grandparents. But the thing is, the grandparents are the ones that are talking to him in Spanish more than they ever talk to him. So this is what we need to really do and really encourage. And it's bringing your culture to your field. And there's reasons to do that because everybody needs to go into specific fields, bring their culture in, and then it brings more people to that area.
Who wants to work in the future in TV or in television here? I'm ready. You? And radio and TV? What, you want to be like a reporter? Yeah, why? But you like to communicate with the people. That's why you want to work. Okay. Ahorita al final hablamos también.
Any questions?
Who else?
About radio.
Radio.
You have to have like really good voice, like
It's a reality. It's a reality. Like 20 years that I was working on radio, every time that I go to a voice check, it was like, oh, I need to put colors. So that's the reality. See, beautiful people, TV, other people.
That's very true.
Come on, it's easy to answer people too, come on.
No, that's true. That's true. I'm saying, a few times there's people that I have my Facebook, and people don't know me in person. And one time just sleep was laughing, right now it was, oh my God. Yes. And then you were like, this thing, that's my point. And that's a good radio. If you guys want to do radio, I think that's what the good magic is. We make you think or imagine something. Just
The thing is not real. Right?
I'm gonna say this, because I don't think we're gonna get in trouble, but you know how old the is? I'm here about the chip.
You guys got all of that checklist?
Oh, how old are him? What do you think? Okay, who else?
55. Nah. 55.
Technically, he's supposed to be 85, but the guy who goes to chip is 28. 38.
They have like a costume every day and everything, right?
He transformed him. And if you ever listen to it, I mean, if you ever go listen to him on Monday morning, when he talks about his stories and his, hechizos, whatever they call it. And you listen to him clearly, and he just like takes you to that time, to that moment, and makes you imagine all that stuff, right? That's his voice. It sounds like a very old dude, but he's only 28, maybe, or maybe. And he said, and that's what we do. When we first came in, I had this promo from Edge. And they are there, they're the ones who make that promo. And until now, I just find out they did it. So thank you. So yeah, sometimes you hear the voice, you hear the people, and we just try to, that's a bit of radio, we try to make it think and imagine what we're trying to communicate. And that's one of the important things too. Perfect Spanish, clear Spanish, and express yourself, people, and then that's people that going on. La chocolate,
Oh,
the
the
best. He's the best.
Osvaldo, you guys heard of La Chocolata? It's a guy, his name is Osvaldo, he's my friend, and it's weird, because when we're doing a barbecue, we're gonna have some fun, have some beers. We look at him, and he's like, paying attention to every single thing that is happening to the bar right now, right? But at the same time, he's creating the next morning at the show. He does like 7 voices.
The doggy,
The doggy, la chocolate, the asno, no, he has like 7, 8 voices. I always, when I first met Osvaldo, I said, dude, you're my taller or you have something. It's something over here. I cannot believe how you can do it. Yeah, I don't know how you can do it. How you can create a conversation with 7 different people at the same time. And hold that conversation, but by yourself. I said, nah, dude, are you serious? I said, yeah, you're saying. So I've always made fun of him, but it's something amazing, and that's one of the things that I went into my life. If you are good at something, try to develop that skill that you have. Don't be afraid, don't be so hard on yourself. Try it. And keep doing it. You're gonna discover a lot more things that you can apply to your life and to your person. That's one of the things. When I saw Osvaldo, that's what I want to share with you.
yeah, because when I met him, I remember when he was there, I know who he was, and I remember him being Erasmus. So I come to him and go, hey, what kind of chocolate? And he was like, oh, I didn't like him. He's the same guy, right? But he told me, oh, I was waiting for the chocolate, which was the racket. I was waiting for her instrumentation, and I was like, hey, you don't think that's chocolate? But he's the same guy. So you guys ever listen to Erasmus Chocolate, which airs every day from 3 to 7. Jose, one of the people
Good publicity, good manager.
and you listen to him, he's the same guy. He's the same guy. 7 different people talking at the same time, that's him. Okay. Now, I want to say something that probably you guys, teachers, will like. But most of the time, what we do, even for her, we have teachers or our parents say, you know what, don't do that. That's not a career. You know, that's something. Long time ago, speaking from our this perspective, Someone told me that being a DJ was like being a DJ is what got me here. And one thing he was saying is that even if you want to get skateboarder, even if you want to be a fighter, boxer, and sometimes say, oh, don't do that because only one out of how many people make it. You could be the one. You could be the one. Chespirito, no, I may be wrong, but I may be right. He became famous when he was like 40 years old. Throughout all those years, he was writing for some of the shows, he was producing the shows. When he turned 40, that's when he just did show late. And now he was but he was one of those richest on his shows now all about 40 years old. Okay. So I don't care what you guys want to do, just make it put that passion, make it yours. And if it's not today, it's tomorrow. But you will make it. That's for sure.
And make it is what you think of it. You know, some people think of success, you have to be this big thing. Success is what you make it, what success should be for you. I was in the graphic design field for 15 years, and I was at the top of my field where I was working. I was the top artist. It was 500 artists, and they fired me. They let me go because I was working, and they either let me go or let 4 other people go. And they decided to let me go. And that's when my boss was out of town on vacation. And my boss called me back up and said, don't worry, I have assignments for you to work on at home. And I made one at home, and I worked at my job. And then and within a month, I got a part-time teaching job. And my son was about a year and a half. And we're like, you know what, this part-time teaching job isn't that bad. You know, and then I started teaching what I do. And then I got hired full time, and my old job called me back and had me working for them again. So I was working 2 jobs, and then I just finally left, and I've been teaching ever since for the last 10 years. So there's going to be times where you move around, and you're still doing what you're doing, and you like what you do. I love what I do. I love graphics, I love art, and now I love being a teacher. You know, with you guys, I enjoy that. So as long as you love what you're doing, your success is depending on you. I consider myself so successful because I've had 3,000 students. A lot of my students still come back and talk to me. And a lot of them are graduating college, and they come back and tell me their stories. So success is up to you and what you think about it, and where you take it. So and if you're doing what you love, you're successful.
Correct. Sorry for being a lawyer and a doctor, especially for Michelle here. I heard so many times that parents or your tios, they were like, no, mija, I don't think you can do it like this.
No, I have more brain than body.
You hear it all the
That's
time.
what I'm doing in entertainment.
You hear all the time. I mean, good that we are. We don't have to go through it.
Well, it's funny because I remember when,
Estás guapo, tú también, ¿de qué hablas? Just mola, pues.
when I get into the radio business, it was so funny because I was working for Del Taco. And I enjoy every single thing that I do in life. When I was working at Del Taco, I met this guy. He was driving a limo, so I was going to work on limo every single day. Because he was my friend and he wants to get some free lunch at the restaurant, right? So I was working at Del Taco, and I remember one night that I went to the room. My dad told me, like I said, I went to the Oxnard and I saw a little pamphlet that says, if you want to be a broadcaster, fill this. So I filled that out, and they called me. I went to the school, it doesn't like me. But I remember one night that my dad told me, do you remember my first cell phone? It was like a cage. It was like a carry-on. I told my dad, I want to buy one of those phones. And he told me, what do you want? I said, well, somebody's going to buy it. And he told me, those are for people who really need a phone. A doctor, an artist, a lawyer, a broadcaster. And when he told me that, I said, you know what? I know they're broadcaster. I just gonna work on radio, and I just gonna buy my phone. That was the reason why I came into the radio. So the next weekend, I went to Oxnard, I paid my $100 to get to school, filled out the application, everything. So I started doing the school. At the same time, like 2 months later, I started school. They give me an offer in Oxnard, in a railroad station. So I did the show for Saturdays and Sundays, 2 hours. So they talk in Espanol. First, you know what I got?
It's okay.
Myself. And I told my dad, here is myself. He was loud. He says, I can't believe you. And that's why I went into radio. In that moment, or that, what happened that time, I applied to my life every single time. When some people told me, Marco, can you do this? I said, sure. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but I'm going to try to make it happen. So that's why you have to apply into your life every single time. Don't think that it could be hard, but not impossible. Things could be hard, but not impossible. Believe yourself and you can listen to someone live. That's what we're here to share our stories. And maybe you guys can remember in the future something that was said today. And it helps you to be successful, especially with the work.
I don't know if you guys know who Pepe Hassan is. He's my boss. And when I worked with him 2 times, the first time I was working with him, I was checking, right? He's Pepe Hassan. But he's not that mean dude. He's cool. But one thing he said, one time when I welcome my spray station was coming, and I had this idea for this show. And I said, Pepe, I said to you, and you right away to a spray. You have 5 minutes. Okay. Can you tell me? Why? Because I wasn't ready. Okay. So that's going to happen. Your first impression, you have to be ready for anything at any time.
At the moment.
This industry is cool because sometimes, I mean, I've seen that, not people did it yet, but I've seen other people that go like, bon dia, this and this. Okay. So, about a month ago, actually like 6 months ago, I was on the Cheto show, and Chino, who worked with us, he wasn't there, and I was doing the show. And I was supposed to do what we call live read, which is a commercial, but you have to go live, not record, you do it live. And I was like, she was not here. So good. All right, so call my boss, tell the guy who's in charge of the show, I have these live read, who's gonna do it? See?
¿Cuál? ¿Dónde está?
Just like that. And I was, okay, so I got a paper and I read a couple times. And here you go. I don't know how many people listen to that show, but we have, how many listen to it? Well, I think it's 100,000 people listen to the show. So 100,000 people listen to my beautiful voice last Saturday morning, and I'm ready. So next time when I start to relax again, I was getting up 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes. You know. And then show and all my ideas given to him. It's like, we don't need that today. For the future, if in the future this works, we're gonna do it. So once again, be ready. So this having 2 things happen here. The first time when I saw the I wasn't ready, so I was like, it's time. The second time, when Baba said, do it. Okay. So I was ready. And I don't know, so I'm not going to talk, but one time they also told me that you were doing the national weather.
Yeah, it was, I was like freezing. Well, let me tell you about that. In Telemundo, we are connected with Telemundo Miami, that is the network, okay? We are local here. And then sometimes they have help to do the weather. Conocen El Nuevo Día, ¿no? El que es nacional. And then I have to do the weather national, not local, not the 8, 9 counties that we have here in South California. We have to do like all the United States. And I was like, sorry for the word. I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna do that? You know, I have to check all all the weather around the whole United States and check the temperatures and everything. And believe me, it's not so easy. It's not like 76 and put this little sign. No, it's not like that. It's more than that. And then I called, there was my husband. And I called, and he's like really outgoing and he's not nervous at all, and I'm more nervous than him normally. And I was like, babe, I have to do the weather national. And he was like, great. I'm like, no, great. I'm not prepared. But my boss, he was like, you know what, you did in the morning anchor. You have to do it because in Miami it's 3 hours later, right? Here Pacific time, there is East time. And then here, I have to do it at 4 a.m. For them, that is already 7 a.m. And then my show is starts at 5 to 7, I have to wake up at 1. Not too easy. I have to drive 1 hour and then be in the station at 3 a.m. Prepare from 3 to 5 my graphic, whatever, my hair, my makeup, do my production because nobody does my graphics, nobody does my recording because I'm my own producer and everything. The actors is different. They read the prompter, we have our writers and everything. And they check the rundown the script to be ready on it, you know. But for me, no, I have 12 kids, 6 in 1 hour, 6 another hour, and then I have to make graphics. I have to check about different things, different counties, cities, Las Costas, Los Valles, Los Desiertos, La Valle de Coachella, whatever. And then now I have to do like the whole thing. And then my boss, he called me, okay, tomorrow you have to do a live shot for at 4 a.m. And then I was like, I have to be ready at 5 on the show. And then I was doing it, I did fine. But I was like this, like one day, another one, I have to prepare national graphics because normally my graphics are just local. I have to call the WSA, that is the company, to give us the graphics and everything. Because they're gonna say like, you have to do it. Do it whatever you, and I don't have graphic, I don't know, you can do it. Do whatever, hazlo como puedas. We need it. We were like, I don't know how to do it. I need to go to Miami to have the IFB, the chicharito, como se llama, whatever. Just ask. My boss was like, ask. Oh, I was like, what can I do? But you're gonna be in those positions sometimes and you just like throw yourself like up there. And there's a lot of people watching you, and if you mess up, they're gonna be like, that stupid girl is right there on TV, like she doesn't know nothing, you know? And then you just have to do it. That's what I'm asking yourself. If you're like funny or whatever, be funny. If you're like more serious, be serious. Don't try to be other person on TV on your job because at the end of the day, you gotta be what you are, you know? Don't try to be like for me, I'm really, I don't know if he told you.
Oh, you're very calm.
Exactly. I'm more calm than my husband. But normally I'm like funny, whatever, and he's like, just try that out, you know. But yeah, and then it's hard.
So those were like two, so like just jump in. So when they asked people to jump in, that was like the scary part the first time. I'm pretty sure you guys have done it like several times after that. So
Well, in my case, I practice a lot. One of the things that when we go to school, broadcasting school, is like you have to read. No matter what, you have to read and loud. And probably you guys know this, we put a pen or pencil now. So when we talk, it sounds kind of weird, but we take it out and put that in, it's more clear. So you was gonna see, I've never seen it doing that, but the other and the practice the notes. Okay. So yeah, we've done it before. So the scary part is not gonna do it. The scary part is like right away, you know, like these the people I want to or listen to. That's the scary one. You have to have a mic, you have the camera in front of you, and 2 or 3 people. That's it. But you can't go like there's millions of people out there listening to you.
And the boss is watching you, and the next day you're like, great job, and then like,
See the flashlight, that's how long. Te pegas a. Okay, so yeah, but I mean, you just do right now. When I record commercials, actually, so you know, I'm just not there was the first guy who actually recorded commercial. I record commercials, working for Exodus, and he just called me in, 2 days, 3 days, and my first commercial was for Circo Bags. And yeah, that's the first part of that. It's not like doing a race, it's like you imagine all these people, you know, watching, want to think about that. That's why. Uh, 2, 3 years ago, I was just like today, doing nothing in my house, relaxing, no work, and nothing at all. These guys from the calle Guapo, they called. Everything was there. I took my yesterday. So they called me because yeah, they didn't show up. But everything was there. But this particular day, they had no MC or master programs. Whoever was interested in that bands. So they showed me. Hey, what do you do? Nothing. Okay, you go. That's totally different. Being in front of the camera, being in front of people, that's totally different. But now you like the people from them. So they call me, I go there, they go, you know what, the MC didn't show up, so we need somebody to go on stage and talk to people. When you go up the stairs, and then you go like this, and you start going, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10,000, 1, 2, 3. That's fucking.
You're like, okay, never mind, I have to go to the restroom. Let me go back.
Yes. So that's a lot. You know, here's the microphone. I remember that day there was a guy behind me, and we were like, "What can we hacer eso? Más habla."
That's why.
Here, go.
It's funny that you say it, but my dad, he always said that. He was so proud of me. I was doing like whatever I want, and they kind of successful in what I was doing. And sometimes his friends tell him, oh, my son works at the radio station. Oh, yeah, like, yeah. But he's doing it, not you. Yeah. So remember that. It could be easy, but do it. Don't let anybody else do it for you. And when he's telling about be prepared, always, if you practice, you're gonna be good at what you're at. On my case, it's like on March, we went to Mexico City to cover the Viva Latino. That's one of the biggest rock festivals in Mexico. So I went there, it was my first time. I got there and they told me, oh, you're gonna be here, you're gonna do the interviews. I said, okay, cool. And he was sending me all the info about the bands that I had to do the interview. Well, I started doing the interview with like new bands, new upcoming acts from Viva Latino. But then he says, oh, La Sonora Santanera is going to be here. I said, that's brilliant. Why I was so comfortable doing that? Because I love music. I listen to rock and español, that's my favorite kind of music. But then I listen to cumbias, I listen to rancheras, anything, blues, jazz, anything. So when he told me, are you sure you want to do that interview with the Sonora Santanera? Yeah, I know the music, I know where they came from, so I know everything about the Sonora Santanera. He said, okay, cool. So I did the interview with the Sonora Santanera, then I started doing another interview with that rock band from Colombia, and then another guy from Brazil, and then he told me, Bronco is ready. Bronco is Australian music. Are you ready to do the interview? I said, yes, do it. I work with the Spanish radio station, I was there. He said, okay, so they bring Bronco into the space to do the interview. What I tried to share this story with you guys is because I started working on radio with Mexican music. When I was in Oxford, I was working with rock en español, rock clásico, like from the 60s, 70s. And then when I started working on Playboy, it was from the 80s, 90s. Before I was doing the Super Estrella, there was more pop music. Then I did the Pop Melodía, so it was more like 80s and 90s pop music. So all those years that I was working in radio, gained the knowledge to do the interviews that last March of that concert. And one of the things that it makes me feel good is because we got an email from Bronco saying that it was so nice of us doing the interview, that they had a lot like good time, because I was more focused to get really personal things from them. Even when we started drinking mezcal. So it was an interview, it was like a chat, good chat, just having fun, drinking and talking. So this is an email that they had an awesome time with us. And that's the thing that makes me feel good. It's something, you know what, doing something good.
And he's able to do that because he knew about them. He's entrenched into the industry, and that's what he loves. And when you love something, whatever you're doing, you're going to be so much better at it. And what you really have to be able to see here is that all of us are professionals. And all of us are doing something that we have chosen to do. We have jobs in industries that we made it our choice. We're not just working, because this is what we have to do. We're doing what we want to do, and it shows, and you're going to enjoy life so much more when you actually go out there and make your choices for what you want to do, rather than somebody else saying, no, you need to go do this, or, and somebody else making the choices for you. And hopefully you'll be a little bit more successful when you're doing that on your own, where you're picking, I'm really good at this. I'm really good at that. And some of you I brought in here because I'm like, you know what? You really love to talk. So come in here and learn about broadcasting and use it, and there's nothing, there's nothing wrong about that. It's a good thing. Some people aren't good at communication. You've got really good friends that you can go over there, and some of them will listen, and they're really good at pulling questions out, and that's all part of it. Knowing when to talk, knowing when to listen, knowing how to ask the right questions and pull things out of people, and that's all part of it.
Let me add one something. We were talking about how what time you wake up, and it was up to another group, different hours. But I saw 3 or 4 of you girls going like,
Yeah.
can you explain to them your normal 24-hour life?
Well, first of all, I don't have a life.
We don't
No,
have
we don't have a life. Well, in my case, I don't have a life because I have to go to bed really, really early, like at 5, 6 p.m. Sometimes I don't. I confess that. But because I have to wake up at 1 in the morning from Monday through Friday. And sometimes Saturday and Sunday we have events like Cinco de Mayo, whatever, we have to go there and we have to be there at the end of the day. But I wake up at 1 every day. I do all my stuff, I fix my stuff and everything. I leave at home and I'm tired. You know how far it is, right? Like I'm 1 hour from here. And then I have to drive every day from Rancho Cucamonga to Universal. The studios, they are right there instead of the Universal Studios. I have to drive 1 hour. I have to be at 3 a.m. at the channel. Okay? And then sometimes they call me. Michelle's already 3. Oh my God, my alarm doesn't sound. It happened twice already, and it feels terrible because I have to be at 5. Any, whatever, I have to be at 5 on air. With a hair like this, but I have to be on air at 5. I don't care. And as soon as I get to the channel, I have to do my graphics. I do like 20 graphics around. I have to read the NOAA, the National Weather Service. And we got all the information from the weather. And we have to read that. I have to have that information to a graphic to put like numbers, to put the low pressure, the whatever, the low pressure, then the raining or it's not raining, and everything. I have to put on that graphic. After that, I have to run to makeup from 4 to 4:35, and then they put my mis aparatos, my mic and everything. And then I have to run back to the studio to 5. And then we are in the studio from 5 to 7, 2 hours. And every hour I do 6 on weather. And also at the same time I'm doing the traffic weather. The traffic graphic from the anchor. If you watch Telemundo and then the anchor, oh, it's the traffic and the flies out and it's loud and whatever. And then the graphic, I go to chd.com, and then I have all the traffic that the California Patrol, they're doing there online, and then I have to put that accident on a graphic, on a physical graphic. And then at the end, I do my 45 seconds, 1 minute, 2 weather, and then I run to the other computer. I have to make the traffic graphic for them that they're next. I have to do three different accidents every segment. It's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 6 segments per hour. And then I have to do that too. At the same time, they're telling me like, oh, you're gonna have a video, and then you're ready about whatever the storm there was on the East Coast. And I was like, okay. And then I have to open Google at the moment. I have to read a little bit how many inches of snow, whatever it's gonna be at the end, the cold front, whatever. And then, okay, I'm ready. And then they're like this. Always when I'm doing the weather, like, okay, wrap it up. Look to your left, you're covering the graphic, and then they're talking to you at the same time. to read nothing. I don't have, well, I have 3 cameras, one here to see myself, and the front, which one I type to you directly to the viewer. And then when I turn, I see myself in this one. But behind me is just a green screen. I don't have my graphics and the green screen, just a green screen. I see my graphics on the 3 cameras to point the correct CD, whatever. But at the same time, I'm clicking it to change my graphics from the whatever computer that I'm having everything ready, okay? But at the same time, the director is telling you, okay, just a straight, sigue, because the reporters are ready, and then they talking to you, and then you're typing at the same time, you're changing, you're pointing. It's not so easy doing the weather. It's not really easy. And my friend, she was like, it's easier because you're reading a prompter. I'm like, no, the weather girls, we're not reading any prompter at all. We're doing like everything's in here with the clicker and with the graphics, you explain everything. And the interest is different because they have the prompter, but at the same time, I don't know if you've seen any like breaking news. Have you seen any breaking news? Whatever the shooting that we have in Austin. Okay, at the moment, they call the anchors, okay, we have a último minuto, breaking news, and they don't have nothing, some say they don't have nothing information, and they just go through the image that they're seeing on the whatever, on the chopper, because NBC, they have their own chopper, and then you go there, and then, okay, we are in the freeway 5, blah, 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 and then in that moment, you see the experience the anchor has, because they don't have nothing there, they don't have any prompter, nothing. But in reality, they read the prompter, but still you need to be really smart because sometimes it's whatever story about Latinos in Chicago, whatever. They know the percentage. Okay, we're going to do like a little chicha after the deal. They're like, oh yeah, remember in this state we have a 90% of Latinos, and then you have to know about politics, sports, and health, everything when you're a neighbor. Like for you girls, that you want to know, you have to be like empapada de everything around your around local because you have to talk about sports. Well, because you're not in the sport, but sometimes you're gonna maybe you're directly gonna say, okay, go and cover this story about sport because the sport girl is not here, and then you will cover. Then you need to know about everything. Then you need to prepare. Trying to read about politics, about health, about the laws that we have in California. They just passed that. But it's really hard. And Saturdays and Sundays, my husband, he knows my husband, and he's like, hey, let's go party. I'm like, no. No, I want to sleep, but because I work, for example, after my show, I finish my show at 7. From 7 to 8, we're promos that are playing around like until 10, I think so. Then after that, we take the breakfast, and then we have 2 meetings to explain. Like, for example, okay, we have a bad parent on there, whatever, some meals, una palabra mala, ¿no? Sin acento, eso. Until 11, I'm done. I have to go back to home. I take a nap, and then always my schedule is sleep like 3 hours, and then another 3 at the end. I never sleep like 8 hours, like once, like corrida. And then it's kind of hard. It's not like a lot of people think that rarely live MTV the easy career, right?
That's what you're doing.
Yeah,
What are you
like,
doing?
oh, that's fun because you go and have fun and you know the people. No, it's not like that. Believe me, it's not like that. You have to study. You have to. For me, it's like I work full time. I study full time. I'm a husband. I'm a wife full time. I have a house. I have to clean the house too. I don't have a kid yet, but I'm spending some. I have to have that in your life. Body is gonna be every Sunday. Don't worry about it. Focus on whatever is first, your priority right now. And then the body is next. Don't worry about it. Body is everywhere, every day.
What was one of the biggest challenges that you had to face?
Sí, déjame pensar. La que como challenge I have to do. Fueron varios. The first of all, it was, I think so, to be here at my age, 16, because when you came from over whatever, from Mexico, you're thinking that, because the language, whatever, it's like, no, I'm not gonna be in here what I wanna be. First of all, to have my career, my 4 years might be it, you know? The second one, I think so, when you're in the big market like LA, I'm then the youngest on the channel. I think so Julio is 29. Every else that is in the channel is like 20 years experience. And then when they see somebody else coming to their channel, like, this girl, she doesn't know nothing. She don't know how to talk. She don't know how to do. And everybody's gonna, te van a facturar, te van a pisar. Te van a decir hasta you were terrible today. They tell you like that, directly.
I went to one from like UCLA,
Mhm.
and they told us that they do like inside black anything, like hair.
Hair, shoes, everything, like that. Like, for example, yo tenía mucho la adicción con la Marcela, with the D. And they put me for 1 year with a pen. However, told me, after the show, 30 minutes, read, and the director, you have to see me doing like this. Sometimes I was like, ¿cómo se va viendo? I was like, with my saliva, and they don't care. Because you have to be, they're gonna tell you, you're in the big market, you're in the number first market, you have to be on top of it. I think so that was a big challenge because I'm kind of like sentimental, and then somebody tell you like, you were terrible today in air. That's like, oh my God, because se te bajan los humos, and then that's why if you want to be a reporter, whatever, be on TV, be prepared for all those things.
That's bullying.
That's bullying.
That's legal.
Yeah, you have to be prepared for everything. And say like, okay, yeah, tomorrow will be better, but trying to don't take personal because they're gonna tell you that, oh, your hair was terrible. Oh my God, that dress, te veías con unas santas caderotas así on air. I was like, I'm sorry, my body type was like, what else, you know? They're gonna criticize yourself a lot. And yeah, it's part of it.
We do a lot of critiques in class. How do you get the people who are critiquing you and telling you you're doing terrible, how do you get them to give you, pointers, positive feedback? How do you throw it back at them and say, oh, this was that? How do you get them to tell you how to do it?
Yo a ellos lo digo.
How do you get them to tell you what, to give pointers to the people who are experience? How are you using them to make you stronger?
Bueno, normalmente when they phone you, they're gonna give you examples.
Okay.
They're gonna give you examples. Okay, Michelle, when you did this heat, you were like, you did it real well, or you were not pointing the right breath. They give you examples. But at the end of the day, they have 20 years experience and they're like almost to say bye-bye to the channel and then we're new generations get into. They're gonna be scared because we are getting to that market, you know? They're gonna be, oh, that's that new girl, oh, okay. But it's still sometimes, ¿cómo se dice envidia? Hay muchas envidias, demasiadas envidias, o sea, hay veces que tú llegas, you wanna do your job and you don't wanna know everything else, and you're working, and the people around you is already like peeking at you, and they're like, I'm doing my job, what do you want, like, leave me alone, like, I'm not doing nothing to you, but there's gonna be like that, and I think so, most in TV than radio, right?
Yeah. That's what we do.
I think everywhere, even here, I believe you guys have had experience with that. Somebody is doing some bullying to you, that's because that person is insecure, that you are better than him or than her. Okay, so he wants to do first, to throw the rock first, so that way he doesn't get hurt, or she doesn't get hurt. That's what happens on the industry, in any job. If you have a person who works 20 years with that same company, and you have like 3 or 4 years of experience, he's already afraid that you come with new ideas, that you are going to be better than that person, and that you're going to take the job from that person. So that's the insecurity that those people most all the time they have. And like I said, you can apply it to your life. Here at school, even with your classes, with your family, it's like, oh, I'm my grandma loves me more than you. Well, it's insecurity that we have. And it's normal because we're humans. But we have to canalize those ideas, those things to the good thing. If someone is telling you like, oh, you know what, you're doing so bad today, well, let me see what I can do tomorrow, right? That's it.
Then one of the things that also make it better than that. And go back to you, girls, that when 1 in the morning with that, there's very little you can are willing to do that. I mean, I'm pretty sure Josue, my son, in back, it's 7:30 in the morning, he's like, yeah, Dad, go to school, right? So her day, my day starts at 12 midnight. I go to ready for 12 midnight, all the way to 6 in the morning for 3 days. And then weekends, like today, I have to go from 7 to 12. And like she was saying, there's no social life or a little time until you actually make it work. So right now, I'm working into that stuff. So very little people are willing to like, oh, I'm going to rate at 12, from 12 midnight to 6 in the morning. Yes, I'm there. Yeah, my office, I'm like, go red, I want to go red. And then I do all the
You
stuff.
put the pepinos at night.
Yeah, I stay, do the makeup stuff. Then I go home, I get home to like around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I same as her, go to bed around 6 o'clock, wake up. 5 hours, 4 hours, and then you go again. It's hard, but once you make it, it's okay to make it just, but once you make it, you start making a lot of money, especially in regular, about to be how it works. But you guys heard about oil building, they make a lot of money. There's a lot of money there. Right now, we're going to get something. We get something, but it's hard work. It's very hard work, and a lot of passion put into it. There's people that like Concheto, he was doing what I was doing 10 years ago. I think he makes about $1 million.
And you guys are gonna bring in new ideas. When people are new into the market, they don't know what they don't know. And you come in with your ideas and nobody's telling you, don't do something. You're gonna go in, you're gonna have your ideas, you're gonna try things that people in the industry that have been there for 20 years or 30 years, they don't wanna try something new because they've been doing the same thing for so long. So when you go into something new, you're gonna be willing to try the new things, and you should be. I've only been teaching for 10 years. So, nobody told me that I can't bring people in. So I bring people in. I invite people. I invite professionals because you guys still want to learn from a teacher. It's like learning at home from your parents. You hear your parents say something, you're like, yeah. You go to school and you go to school and you hear a teacher say, you do this, and then you're like, yeah. But I brought in, we brought in our broadcasters. I brought in the Powerpuff Girls artist, and he taught people how to draw. I brought in George Gutierrez from the Book of Life, and he talked about being a director and a writer and a cartoonist. Those things, all these people are telling you the same thing that you're learning from the class. So when you hear from professionals, you guys are a little bit more and listen to it a little bit more. You want to do, and that's what we should really start moving in that direction, because soon, very soon, a lot of you guys are going to be the professionals. You're going to get paid to do this, and I want you to come back. Remember me and come back and then tell the next generation, because we need to build our professional industries, whatever they are, and we need to build. Did you guys know that California is the third biggest industry in California is the creative industry? The creative industry, arts, multimedia, gaming, television, film, all that is a creative industry. And California is, their third biggest field is creative industry. And creative industry is the biggest field here throughout anywhere else. So you're in the top market and you can be creative. Where do we have anybody coming to our schools telling them, go to college and be creative? I'm telling you to be engineers and scientists. Nobody's telling you to go be an artist. Nobody's telling you to go be a filmmaker. Nobody's telling you to come be in radio or broadcasting. That's going to change soon. We're going to bring that here. We're going to bring the creative industries here so that you guys can now see that you can be creative, you can be cultural, and you can be true to yourself and actually go and make money in these fields where we're underrepresented. So, I just had a meeting yesterday at Shapey College, and the dean wants to actually bring that here. So the dean and I are gonna talk about how we now promote the creative industries at our school, so we can build up the next generation of creative talents. And this is what we have to do, we have to build each other up, not just graduate, not just do this, but I want you to graduate with good grades, have those scholarships for you to go to college, because, you know, we need you to go and represent our next generation.
And also really important to do internships, really good. It's your next job there. If you do a great job as an internship, for example, a lot of internship right now is an MPC, like 20, they got like a 20, 30 around, and they help MPC until the end of the space time. After they finish, I don't know, like the 40 something hours or 100 something, I saw a lot of those internships now working there. A lot of internships, so really good.
How old is it?
Really, like the,
Is it just college interns or is it high school?
no, high school too. High school.
Very good. We had a great internship program here with Santa Ana Unified, where we have 8 students going to JPL because that is the top science, you know, place to go work at. So 8 students go. Why can't we now do the same thing at NBC Telemundo and send, you know, 4 to 8 students over there and work at one of the top networks, you know, and learn about creative industries? I'd be willing to drive a van and take you guys over there every time, drop you off and pick you guys back up if you can get those internships. Because it's every day, and that's part of her job, you know, and she's doing all these kinds of things. I'm pretty sure she could use an intern, and she could teach the intern how to actually do the graphics while she's doing something else.
And as soon as you get the internship, for example, sometimes they get who you like, okay, do this, make coffee, whatever. Just do that. Just go around. Okay, if I'm there or whatever other anchor, oh, how you get there? How can I do this? Go to the studio, watch around. Don't be like, okay, that's it. I finished my 2 hours. Bye. I'm thinking, no. Go and ask the director, the manager there, the associate producer, just go and, hi, nice to meet you. My name is this. This is my number. If you need something, I'll finish my hours, but I'm here. I want to be there. Always like, be on top of everything. Because if you're like flying, like, okay, nobody's gonna remember you. You need to make noise there.
Do your job well, do it quickly, and then ask for more work. You know, if you do your job well,
Maybe you don't want it, but just
ask for more work, because that's gonna get you noticed and get you the really good assignments, the really good things that you wanna do. Why are they gonna trust you to do something else if you haven't done the first thing? You know, you need to do that really well and then show them what else you can do. Or come up with an idea after you, oh, I done this, can I do this? I was thinking about something. And give them the idea and make it theirs.
And what we did Shelby, whatever you want to do online, like if you want to do a broadcast or musician, whatever, try to be involved and try to you have the same passion and have the same interest. Like in my case, I know Pedro, the husband, is the person that's helping me out also. I know Fred, I know Pepe Garza, he came to our radio station from Guadalajara the first time that he came here. And we just met at that time. Cardoso, he made a movie, not that you guys have the movie, it's Americano. So my friends are all involved in music, movies, radio, but that's what I love. That's what they're my friends. Because we have many things in common. The passion for movies, radio, music, concerts. And that's what you need to do. On this case, like if you want to be a nurse, you probably need to be among people who's really interested in medicine, biology, I don't know. You have to be with that kind of person. It's going to help you. Because we're going to share all your knowledge. If this guy loves rock music, well, he's going to be running in concerts. He needs to discover more bands and radio stations, magazines. Why? Because that's his passion, and he has to be involved with that. So his friend next to it, he likes banda or whatever, but he can share with you the knowledge that he has from the music. That's what you have to think about it. Whatever you want to do in life, try to get around the people who have the same passions and same vision. Like, because you guys are going to share the knowledge.
If you notice, they're all building each other up. They all have, they know each other, they know about each other's skills, and they're building each other up. And you guys need to make sure that you're surrounding yourselves with friends, with family, with coworkers, of people that are going to build you up. We have enough people in society and around us that are going to tell us no. And you need to either prove them wrong and then show them, or just have them outside of your lives where you're still doing what you want to do. My mom told me not to go back to school because I got back into school just recently and I'm working on my doctorate. And she's all like, no, you can't, you shouldn't go back to school because you need to take care of your son. You're going to take away too much time from him. I'm all like, no, the reason I'm doing this is because of him. I want to give him the example that I didn't have. I didn't have it in my life. I didn't have anybody before me go to college. So it's nice that, I can show them these things. He didn't see me go to school, so now he's seeing me go to school and seeing that it's a struggle and it's hard. So we have to build each other up. So even if it's sometimes family, you still have to prove to them, and get the people that believe in you around you, so that you can do these things. And we can. Somebody has to be the first. Somebody has to be the first person to go to college, or let's start from graduate high school and go to college and get the jobs that you want. Somebody has to be the first in your family so others can go. It's really nice that now I have a niece that is graduating with you guys right now. She's graduating and she just got accepted to college, and a nephew who just finished his third year of college and is already working on his second major. So he's trying to double major. So it's nice that next part is happening, and it makes it builds up, and it builds up, and it builds up, and you have good examples, doing that. So these are great examples, and they all work together, and they are all pushing each other up and building each other. I'm pretty sure you guys don't keep negative people around you.
Actually, I lost, I would say, all my high school friends are gone. Bye. Because when I started working on this business, a few of them said, oh, it's raining boy. They would call me the weekends to get drunk or stuff like that. I was like, I don't need to work today. So yeah, all my high school friends, maybe a few are still around, but no. We always have either my friends or my career, and in my career involves my family, and I'm working with you, who's a teacher, because I was showing Josue, same thing, he saw me going to school and learn this, and I was told, you have to go to school. Go to school. I probably missed like one or two classes, or 2 days. But know that going to work and always there like 10, 15 minutes before, shows where to go, always prepare, we make that a habit. And that's very important. Going back to what Michelle was saying, waking up at 1 in the morning. I know it's hard waking up at 6 to 7 o'clock, but if you make that habit, when it comes for you to wake up at 1 in the morning, it's easy. It's like, when I started doing the shows, my first DJ I worked with was Carnalillo. He's real tough, and he moved the show very fast. And I learned, started learning how to move the stuff and how to do the show. That a few years later, they offered me to do the Concerto show, which is a little bit more hard. But I make that habit, showing over time, do what I have to do. And like Michelle was saying, she has to do it by herself. And we go by that time. So when you guys are listening to 3 songs on the radio, I'm already doing that versions, I'm already preparing this for that, I'm preparing everything for what's coming. Getting this stuff on the computer, and that's my habit. And sometimes we don't get paid, you go home, once a day, you get paid. When you get home, and you do it. Just do stuff for tomorrow shows. And Osvaldo, he said about Osvaldo, he's having a cabezada, he's thinking about what's coming to us tomorrow, and it's habit. We develop that, it's habit. And if you guys are still getting nice to make that happen. Starting next year, I will get up at 7 in the morning every day. to school every day. I heard that this is true. That if you guys don't miss any day at school, you didn't work. Right? Now, this industry, my mom, my dad was like, DJ or locutor, cálmate. I'm here, right? For some of you who want to be doctors or lawyers, those careers are very expensive. But if you really put effort into it, you guys can get a scholarship. So training is free, but you have to do it. And then converting it to making a habit. Always habit. Reading, studying, showing up to school every day. And yes, push your friends out. Push your friends out. Boyfriend, like, girlfriend. So those things,
Or studying together, study.
Your,
Study.
your partner should help make you a better you. The person you're working, you're spending the most time with should actually make you a better person of who you are, bring out your best qualities. And not stifle you. That's going to be somebody who actually makes you a better person. And you want to be a better person for them. I've become such a better person once I adopted my son. When I adopted my son, my whole life changed, and then I became a teacher. And then when I got here, I had a little bit more free time, and I was always saying, go to school, go to school, go to school. And my students said, you go to school. And I did. So if you surround yourself with people that make you better, it's just what happens. We all have these potentials. We really do. And you need to pull that out for you, whatever your best is, but it's also going to help your siblings and your cousins and everybody else around you who sees you being the best you is going to bring out the best in them. It's going to challenge them. There's competition in the family sometimes, that brings out better and better and better.
And when you enjoy what you do, it's like everything becomes really natural. Like, I left the radio about 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago. But I did a radio show on the internet with my friend with the legal. And like I said, when you enjoy what you do, you lost track of time. It's like today, I have appointment with my clients to talk about new jobs today. And I had to do some paperwork at the shop. I had to do a lot of calls. But at the same time, right now that I'm talking to you guys right now, my mind, it was like, how am I going to do my show that is going to come up on Monday? And I already have an idea because, like I said, everything becomes so natural. Last Thursday, what was Crystal last week? Thursday?
yeah.
On Thursday, right? Okay. Crystal last week on Thursday, then on Friday, I started watching the Netflix series, what is that? 13 Reasons Why. Okay. Then my cousin passed away yesterday, last night. Today I'm here with you guys. Okay, trying to share my experience on radio. So I'm thinking about doing the radio show already. I have an idea what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the music with Chris Cornell, doing my whole show, different kind of music varieties. It probably sounds like you never heard from him. But at the same time, I'm gonna talk about you guys. That you guys are done. You guys have a lot of things around you that can be affected on a good way or bad way. Why? Because the experience right now, basically every single thing that gets into society, and they can do it for good or for bad. And what makes me feel good is that at least I can share with you guys the good about the experience that I have on my career, and the things that I can tell you that it can be possible. Like I said, when I came here, I wasn't going to have any papers, I wasn't legal immigrant working here, I did on radio, whatever. People listen already what I did on my life. And I've seen it for something else where I can be creative, where I can feel good at it. And that's not to be afraid of what you think or what you want to do in life. and see if you can do better every single time and enjoy what you do right now. It's like when I was in school, since I was a kid, I learned that if I go to school, I'm not gonna memorize what the teacher is telling me. I'm gonna understand what he's telling me. When you understand instead of remind and memorize, life, everything is gonna be easy. The reasons why you are here, why you're gonna be a doctor, why you want to be a DJ. That's the most important thing. To believe in yourself and don't be afraid to fail. Because we're humans. Don't be so hard on yourself. Try it again. She was working on springs, small markets. Now she's living in the second right? New York is the first, LA is the second. Why did she do that? She knows she's doing that. But the same thing. Nobody knew that he wants to be a DJ. He tried to be a DJ of quinceañeras, bodas, and he's right now what he likes to do. Already. On my case, I'm another DJ. Everybody's not. Like I said, I'm doing a lot of stuff, but it makes me happy. It makes me happy to challenge myself. So that's why. And I can show you.
You guys have any other questions? Anything else we want to talk about right now?
What's the name of the show that you're on?
Mike?
Yeah, it's in YouTube.
Ahora la superestrella era a las 12 del mediodía, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That was a superestrella. Work KLAX, la X, 97.9, the guys don't work that time. But I was doing Juan Carlos en Caladillo. Yeah, La Casa. We were on the 2.3, but the first radio station here in Los Angeles. Un día, La Cuna del Rock, Cero, Derry, Rock. Yeah, but most people know me for Superestrella, La Puta Media.
Any questions?
Is that what you guys wanted to do, or did you guys have to switch?
Well, like I said in my case, if you hear my life, I change every time. Every time I challenge myself. The reason why I became a broadcaster is because of by myself. Okay, myself. So that's my reason. Then when I came to the radio station, then I had the chance to do the movie with John and Sam. It's called Sueño. Then I get ready with the radio, went into the mortgage business because I saw a lot of money. And it was a good money. Then the market came down. Then I moved into another business, advertising. I was doing because I know a lot of people. So I said, let me know advertising. I know all these guys that come up into the media, on TV and radio. So let's do advertising. I do advertising. Like I said, right now, my father owns a barber shop. And we've been there for almost like 30 years. So my sister and myself were running a barber shop. But I'm thinking about to open a coffee shop now. So it's like, I chose myself. Whatever I want to do in life, I just, be focused. How do I do it? Because if I want to do a coffee shop, it's not like, okay, let me look for a place. No, you have to do a business plan. You have to do some research. Where you're going to put it, why you're going to put it there, what kind of project offer. So it's a lot of things that you have to do. No matter what you do, it involves a lot of things. Like with Michelle, it's not only showing like the temperature, it's like working at a computer. If you don't know how to run that program, you're not going to be able to do that shit. You're not going to be able to do that. So you need to be prepared all the time. And be like on top of the technology, because phone is not just only to watch your friends on the Snapchat or Facebook. It has a lot of things that it can help you to do the work better every time.
In my case, I never expected to work for radio. It's just that I had the money to pay for school, they let me try it. When I got there, I graduated in 2012, and a month later, April, I got March, on April I got hired by everyone. and working the best hours, and you probably know what the best hours are. So I was doing that one day a week, and then Carrillo was there, La Raza. He picked me to work with the show. So I started working there in production. And once I got there, I noticed that you don't have to be like focus on the MC or be on the air. Muchachos de los 15 años, el chino, Giselle, which is the big song. And behind those three, there's more producers, people that work on that, but it's that product. And that's what I'm doing for the production. That's what I do at the radio. I'm on the air aquí en la ranchera, en Santa. Y sí, I'm only 30 years old. But I used to play there, it's for like 60 or 70 old people, no? But I still go there, you know, and I have my old lady fun club. I do. You know, and so that's what I do. So I'm there now, and what I want for my future in this career, I was going to take it. I can become, if I'm looking after the one of the money, probably be a salesperson for the radio station. And I would really recommend being a doctor. You can buy with in 2 months. You can buy right away. You're not good at bringing people, you are. But if you are really good at bringing people in, listening to you, you make a lot of money. So I don't know exactly where I'm going to go, but right now here, I thought.
Well, my case, I always want to study something under communication studies. I was between PR, public relations, or journalism. But always my mom told me, you're really good talking, baby. Just go from there, go from there. And no, I never changed majors. I always go directly to do my BE on college, and then I transfer, and then I do my journalism BA always. But I have always like them. It's perfect to have plan B because you never know. Or careers they move a lot. Today you're here, tomorrow you're in one job, in one penny in your well, that's good that you have to have a good plan. It's really good more than to save money. But it's really good to have a plan B. Always have your career and whatever you like to do. Because money sometimes is important, yes. But sometimes what you prefer, go to work and maybe earn, I don't know, 1,000 a month, whatever. And you were like, I have to wake up to work. But maybe if you like it, and maybe you earn a little less money, you're happy to do it. You have a smile every day. That's really important. But at the end, sometimes you have bills to pay. And that's why you have a plan B, like him. For example, I have my license to sell insurance. And I renew every 4 years, I renew my license because I started working with my dad. When I was working, when I was in McDonald's, and then I studied at college, I was working with my dad to sell farmers insurance. I was working there. And then I have my license for that too. But at the end, I was like, no, I like sales, I like to do, I love to have my career in communication studies. I go from that, but at the end, thank to God that I have where I am. I have a good check. I don't have to work and other things around. I just focus on my job. But I always, and when you get to TV, I don't know radio. But in TV, for example, I have a contract. I have 3-4 years contract. As soon as you finish your contract, you don't know what's going on next. You don't know if they're gonna renewal. You don't know if they're gonna say like on the whole window, maybe they will say, you know what, no, we have somebody else in mind, and you have 6 months to until your contract is around. And then in TV, maybe it's good in the way that you have a 4 year safe or 3 years, depends on your contract. You're safe for those years. And when you have to save money. You have a good finance, you have to save your money. Because after that, you don't know this career. I love my career, but yeah, it's hard to get a job. And sometimes it is hard to be there for 20 years. Like right now, there's a lot of technology, they teach a lot of the talent, the production. As before, I don't know if somebody of you, I don't know if you told me about any channel. Have you been at any channel studios right now?
No, I started today.
Okay, just ask, like today the camera, we don't have a floor manager, we don't have a cameraman, we don't have nobody there in the studio. It's just myself and the new singers. The cameras, they like robots. They just move by themselves. And then if you see those people that work in that, they're already done. We don't have floor manager, we don't have a cameraman inside of the studio, nothing. The cameras, they just move because they put codes inside of the control room. And they put codes and the camera's gonna move the pens on the scene. They are so four, so one, so two. Nobody else is in the studio with us. You know? And then the technology is changing a lot, and then maybe after we're not gonna have a live, we're not gonna have a TV. We have a lot of YouTube now show everything is now on the web. And maybe TV in a couple years is gonna be gone, maybe radio too. And then that's why you need to have a family always. Have your career, whatever you like to do. You have like maybe real estate loan officer on the side, or I have my insurance license on the side in case. And I'm gonna have now my license for meteorology. For meteorology, you don't need to be always on TV. I can work in channel, weather channel, doing the graphics, whatever, inside. And then always have plan B, C, whatever, because it's very tough sometimes.
So I'd like to encourage you guys, they've taken the time to come and talk to you. So make sure you guys take the time to go online and follow them in every which way that you guys follow anybody. So go to the Snapchats, go to the Facebooks, go to the Twitters, go to any kind of social media device. When they have higher numbers, it looks really good for their bosses as well. So the more that people that they have following them, the more people that they have commenting on anything that they're doing, it helps build their brand, and then it helps them then come back to their bosses. This is what I'm doing. This is my audience. And it builds them up. So we always want to encourage you guys to do that, to help people build their brand, especially when they're coming and taking their time to come talk to you and volunteering. So it's really good to give back. The more people you can do that for, is the more people you say, hey, I talk to these people, they're really nice, and get more people to follow as well. So I want to see at least 20 new follows on each one, or 100. That would be great. So that we can grow it up.
I'm back.
Yeah. Don't follow the post, he's back. So
I have a question. So would I try to find the easiest way, like, to get into broadcasting? Should I try to get the easiest way to get in, or like the genre that I like? Yeah, like if I want to do rock, or should I just get any kind of genre of radio station?
Well, if you want to do radio, right?
Yeah.
Okay. My music, same as his. I love rock music, but radio involves a lot of things. So right now I do chat, so music from all time. I mean, even I wasn't involved with that music. But I'm doing radio.
Yeah.
Qué buena place corridos, and I lose track for that. I like it. So don't just want to go around this kind of music. You have to get a degree or certificate in broadcasting, and there's an opening for like Guadalajara radio. Go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. TV, sometimes she speaks English, speaks Spanish, and she doesn't have to really be on the TV, on the camera. She can look behind the scenes and listen. What I want to do is get,
Yeah.
once you put there, it's up to you. So,
Okay.
hopefully, now the favorite no there. I want my para en tradición, para programs, they have so many stages. Learn to be or your certificate, and eventually you get hired by agent company. They give you a list of who's hired, and sometimes you get hired by this company by any radio station, and you start doing promotions. You see who's crossing around. That's like your very first job on there. You get a table, you get a speaker.
Always networking, remember, networking, always do internships, and as soon as you get there, you need to
I want to say
Oh,
that.
knock the door of the bus. Hey, I wanna be whatever, locutor. Can I give you a demo? This is my demo, and I'm pretty good at this and that, but always like, dejen a un lado la vergüenza. If you're gonna be on TV and radio, dejen a un lado la vergüenza, porque la vergüenza no te va a dejar llevar ni en la esquina, me decía mi mamá. Entonces, lleva tu demo y no, pero como él decía que se le arrimó a Pepe, and it was like, oh, there's the boss, and just the big boss, whatever the big boss is human, it's a human being. It's nothing if you go and, this is my demo, could you give me 2 seconds? Could you watch it and give me your background, give me
Yeah.
your opinion, and that's it. No te va a pasar nada si haces eso. At the end of the day, you're gonna say, well, they say no, but at least lo intenté, ¿no?
Mhm.
No te quedas con la idea de que, ¿qué hubiera pasado? Entonces, no. Always, whatever you want to do something, don't think too much, because the people, they don't get to the job that they wanted because they think too much. They're like, okay, no, but no, I'm scared, no, if I do this wrong, this, that. No, just throw yourself there. You're gonna make a mistake maybe, but the mistake tú aprendes, tú vas aprendiendo. De cómo te vas cayendo, te vas a levantar y vas aprendiendo. Es como todos, creo yo, los que estamos aquí, hemos llegado, now because we have, ¿cómo se dice palanca? When you have somebody there, they just I don't have nobody there, I don't think about it, I don't think for yourself. And then it's because we were like, oh, can we please? And then sometimes it's like, oh my God, again, I have to go and knock the door. But it's if you want to be there, just go and remember, they need to remember your face. If they don't remember your face, forget about it. You're not going to be on TV or radio. Right?
And you gotta be approachable, you gotta go over there, you gotta not be afraid to be told yes or no. Sometimes the yes is scarier than the no, because they're gonna expect you to do something after they tell you yes. But when they tell you no, don't just take the no. Take the no with a reason why. Find out why it's no, so that you can work on it. So every no is something you can work on, and then you build it up. That's what we need to start doing as well.
Right.
And be nice, because if you're nice, they might like you, they might do something, but if you're negative, that's, I mean, if you look at all your social media accounts, you're gonna get somebody saying something negative really easy. If anybody here did something rude to you, you're like gonna be quick to say that and blast it out. But when all these people come and to start working for you and trying to help you, it's very rare that you guys blast that out. And we gotta learn to actually work in that direction. Blast out the positivity. There's enough negative crap on all that social media stuff that we don't even pay attention to anymore. We need to start blasting out the good things that people come out and are trying to improve your lives.
And one thing that you can do, it's like, if you want to be a DJ, rock music, but if you have the chance to go into her station, La Ranchera, just think about the opportunity you have to learn production, promotions, programming, and then you can apply those knowledge into your career. Other thing is like, you never get an opportunity to be a DJ on a broadcast station.
Yeah.
Try to see if you can be a music producer, a writer for a magazine. What is passion? The music. Then follow whatever is around the music.
Yeah.
Not just only be focused on one thing, because you can be really good as a music producer. Yeah. You probably never be a DJ, but you could be producing the music for Justin Bieber. But you know what I mean?
Oh.
That's the thing. You cannot be just only thinking about, oh, if I'm not gonna be able to do this, that's it. I'm not gonna do it anymore. No, because there's more chances to do something that is on the same the same industry. Like, it could be connected,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Look at music. I mean, you're saying rock and roll, but where does music take you? You hear it on the radio, you hear it at parties for DJing. They hire music producers to just have the background music to movies, to television shows, because the music helps tell the story. So there's different areas you can go in with that music, soundtracks. Even just when you go in an elevator, there's music in there, and that's being sold, in a specific way. So there's all these different markets you can go into with music. There's all these different markets you can go in and be immersed. There's all these different markets. I mean, how many, everybody has a grandma's, a recipe of how to get better at something, to improve your health. So how do you take grandma's, cure and then go to nursing and say, yes, this works because of this. And then be able to then go out on a broadcast and then say, be a nurse on a broadcasting television show and say, this is why. And have the knowledge of both grandma and of going to school, and being able to do that. How do we bring these things together? It doesn't have to be one thing. You can mix things and be better because of it.
Give you that, one of my friends, so he lives now in Mexico, but he was living here in Santa Ana. I don't know if you remember Samara's music. Samara's music, it was like a little store, record store. Okay, all the DJs from Santos and Orange County, they used to go there because my friend, it was like that of the record label companies to bring the new records into California, like get it from Peru, Argentina. So he was on top of that every single time. So everybody knows this guy, Lava. He don't go to school. He is only attending the little store. When he gets caught with the immigration, it's sent to Mexico. So when he's traveling to work something that has to do with what he was doing here. Now he's stage manager for Ocesa. That's one of the biggest companies who does all the concerts they do in Mexico, any part of Mexico, is to Ocesa. And he does all the stages. He does a station for Metallica, Guns N' Roses. Anybody who goes to Mexico, he does a station. So he never knew that he was working on the record store, and now he is the stage manager for Ocesa. So see what I'm telling you? And he's like, oh my goodness, we have more things around
Music industry.
that it could take you to something that you never know that is gonna like, that you gotta like.
Yeah.
And Telemundo NBC4, one of the companies I like to take the students to go to, which was DreamWorks. So last year we went to DreamWorks, and this year we weren't able to go because they just got bought out by NBC4. So now I gotta figure out how we get back in there. So it's like it all comes around, it all works within each other, and you get these connections, and you're like, hey, I used to do this, and you like elbow somebody who elbows somebody else, and then it's like the dominoes effect, and then you find your way. So you guys don't know how much power you have. You're young kids and you have so much power right now, and there's so many things you can do. Please don't limit yourself. Please, please like shoot for the dream. And even if you don't get that final, you're gonna get somewhere. So you have to shoot for those things.
Okay. Well, okay, I think if any one of you guys want to do radio, I work here at Ranchera, I also do like a web, and I have access to go to the studios, whether it's Hispanic innovation. But if anyone just pick me out on Facebook, and they can take you at least here on Ranchera, so you can see the professional boards, how it works, you can see how I read my stuff, how we do, my broadcasting, and it's easy but hard. And you guys are more than welcome.
I just started an internship program here with our students, and we have 9 students out on graphic design internships. I can expand that for next year to include you as well. So I could send you students who would then become your interns, and they will get classroom credit, they would get 5 units of credit, and they would then learn how to be part of the broadcasting. So I'd love for us to do that. So we can partner.
Only one thing, you have to like it.
Yes.
Okay, because if you want to be a lawyer and you just want to go see how that works, yeah, that's what you guys do. No, but if you like it, oh man, you guys are doing this, right? So you have to like it.
So, if you want to go on an intern, we can get something together so I can make sure that you get credit. You need a certain amount of credits to graduate. So this would be a great way to graduate with 5 units of credit of an internship where you get job experience. Even though you're handing out t-shirts or cleaning up something or running around with copies, it's still job experience. So you guys
I like where my son, when I first started with the radio, I took it with me and he was sleeping. Okay? I was doing the show, like, he was and he was like, well, thank you, sir. But now, then we go backstage, to the concerts, and you will say, he's like, oh yeah. Right? So there's a lot of stuff like that. Those people stuff. So then, one of the things that I showed him to, and I make sure he understands, like, I'm here because it costs me nothing. Not my our time, effort, waking up early, messaging, all the stuff. The reason why I talk to all these famous people, because they know me how hard I work. I'm pretty sure those has the same thing going on. Same thing with her. I see her on TV, I see her on promotion that she goes out, and she has met a lot of famous people as well. And not because she's pretty, not because she's there, she's smart, she put her heart into this stuff, and that's why she's there doing what she's doing. Same with you. Okay? You're not gonna get there just because, oh, my dad works there, or oh, because I'm the daughter of this person. No, you get there because people start recognizing how hard you work. And that goes to nursing, being a doctor. There's so many famous doctors. There's some doctors that are famous, but they do a lot of work for people. So stuff like that. So we used to put effort, be nice, be cool, and because you can hear him. He will tell you all the good notes, all the bad he has made and stuff. So people. Last time he asked me he wants to run the courts for an actor. Now, at the time, you have to run first. You don't want to hear at home. Uncle, you want to run that course for you guys know what I mean. So,
what's going to be really nice is instead of saying, I want to do this, I want to do that, and say these people, to have those people actually come back and say, I want you to do this for me because you're so good. So that's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys, whatever field it is, to be so good at it that these people are coming to you rather than you having to go to them. And they get offers because they're so good at what they do that other people are coming up to them and saying, can you please help promote this for me? Can you please help do this for me? Because they've been so good at what they do. And that's what you guys have to start thinking about. When I build my brand, whatever it is your brand is going to be, whatever it is you do, and you're so good at it, that other people are going to come to you and ask you to do the same thing. So I get asked to go teach other areas. I get asked by, well, I'm working on my doctorate right now. I get asked by the teachers that I'm in the class with to go visit their school districts, to go do over there. So the better you get at what you do, the more confident you are at what you do, the more you share it with other people, you're going to be wanted again and again and again and again.
sé el mejor taquero, sé el mejor jardinero, sé el mejor barrendero, porque siempre es lo que es mejor. Tacos de Ana es una compañía con 20 pequeñas funciones. Jardinería con tal plazo también de repente, eso es una gran, no porque estamos trabajando en esto que es nuestro, porque quieren hacer algo, siempre.
Yeah, no, would be unique, be yourself, be unique. Don't copy other person like, oh, la nueva del primo trae un vestido rojo, mañana yo también traigo rojo y así igualito usado. No, be yourself y no traten de copiar a otras personas, o sea, siempre be unique, eso les representa a los bosses, que vean una persona que sobresalga en la esa muchacha, su personalidad, cómo camina, su pelo, lo que sea, me gusta, porque si ven a todos igual, no, igual en radio, si ven un talento que son diferentes locutores, así los agarra luego que este muchacho tiene algo diferente, tiene, no sé, la voz muy grave, lo que sea, entonces siempre be unique, siempre different.
Why fail at trying to be something that you're not? Why fail at being somebody else when you're the best you can be? Go out there and prove who you are. You guys, just show up and do the work. Do we have any more questions before I want to just kind of like end the panel and give you guys time to like walk around and talk to each other and have other conversations that you might not have. We're all sitting here and you're over there, and I want to give you guys a chance to maybe like interact. To do as a group, or are you ready to do the interaction part? You guys ready? We're here, they're here for you. They're here for you. You guys ready to stop? Okay, so there's drinks over here. I'll turn the coffee back on, there's water. And then you guys can interact and talk and take some time to ask some other questions. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you.